Cicero, Orator, section 69, episode 1. Erit igitur eloquens, hunc enim auctore Antonio quaerimus, is qui in fordro causisque quilibus ita dicet, ut probet, ut delectet, ut flectat. As we begin this new series here in section 69, you will see that we have placed the entire section on the main slide, but we're going to divide our treatment up by sentence. So first, erit through flectat, then in the next episode, probardre through plurimum, and finally, sed through oratoris est. Now, as Cicero begins this portion, he's going to give us a definition. Therefore, that man shall be eloquent, erit eloquens, because him, the eloquent man, based on Antonius's authority or Antony's leading or guidance, we search for him. In other words, we look for who the eloquent man is with Antonius as our guide, auctore Antonio. We'll return to that in a moment. Therefore, that man shall be eloquent, passing over the parenthetical, he who. So is the subject of erit, which is a future tense, of course, a third singular, future indicative active, and then the is going to be further modified by the qui clause. And as we'll see, the qui introduces a result. The man who, and then qui through dicet, this is modifying is, the one who, in the forum and in civil cases, causisque civilibus, will speak in such a way, ita dicet. So here is another future indicative, third conjugation, a future indicative, third person singular. The man who will speak in such a way that as a result, now notice how the ita, this adverb, sets us up for the result clause. And with the ut here, what we have is the figure of speech known as anaphora, the repetition of a word at the beginning of subsequent clauses. So, the man who, in the forum and in civil cases, causis civilibus, will speak in such a way that he probet, he makes his case, that he delights, delectet, he delights or gratifies his listeners, he pleases them, and that he bends them, flectat, or he persuades them, he bends or shapes their emotions toward his particular ends. So this is a fairly straightforward sentence. It begins with the finite verb, erit, in the future tense. Therefore, erit igitur, therefore he shall be eloquent, the man who. So if we boil the sentence down to its simplest components, it's this, is erit, and then the predicate eloquens. He, therefore, will be eloquent. Everything else is modification. The man who will speak dicet in fordro causisque civilibus, such as to ut probet, ut delectet, ut flectat. So notice the first verb here, probet, is from probare, and so this is a third singular present subjunctive active. The second verb, delectet, is from delectare, which is also first conjugation, so delectet is third singular present subjunctive active. The third verb is from a third conjugation, flectere. So it's the same person, number, tense, mood, and voice as the first two, but it's from a different declension or different conjugation. What about auctore Antonio? Well, this will be an ablative absolute, masculine singular and ablative, and the missing participle would be some form of esse, but of course, since esse doesn't have a participial form, it has to be omitted. It's a very common element in a Latin sentence to make an ablative absolute, like this one, out of a simple noun and another noun. So we search for him, that is the orator, we search for him with Antonius as our guide, with Antonius as our leader or our authority. How Antonius has defined the ideal orator, that's the pattern that we're going to use to find him. He will be eloquent, is erit igitur eloquens, who does each of these things.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the lesson, please press the like button. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment.